Hey, what's going on? I'd like to welcome you all to Water Your Soil. So this video right here is going to be pretty important. Yeah, all of my videos, I consider them to be important because the information is helpful to those of you out there who need it. However, with this video, we're going to talk about what really plays a role in receiving a big credit limit because, a lot of people seem to be interested in receiving a big credit limit from these credit card companies, but what plays a big role in that? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So you'll want to sit through this video, all right? Let's get right into it. I want to start this video by giving a shout out to a recent comment on my previous video. You can check out my previous video over in this corner. And on the previous video, the comment was, how a lot of times you'll see videos about credit limits, but they don't talk about what goes into having a high credit limit, because I go through this as well. And I also went through it throughout the years when I first started my credit journey. So everyone wants a big credit limit. The reason why a lot of people want credit limit, of course, they could spend more, than other people want it because it helps out your utilization. You figure if you have a high credit limit, that means you can spend more and it won't affect your utilization. So a lot of times people go and apply for a new credit card, and their main reasoning for doing so is because they want a higher credit limit. I know Capital One, they're known for giving out high credit limits. There are a couple of credit card distributors who are known for giving out high credit limits with no annual fee, So it's understandable why a lot of people would go and search for credit cards through the credit card distributors who tend to give out favorable amounts when it comes to credit limit. That's very understandable. However, when I come across information regarding high credit limits, one thing that's rarely mentioned, as my previous commenter said, ear to the throne, is income. And that's important. You need income. So it's two major things that go into receiving a high credit limit. And I'm going to talk about it here in this video. One is more on the front end and the other is on the back end. Actually, both are on the back end, but one is more on the front end. And we're going to start with the front end first. So when you're applying for a new credit card, and you go and you're filling out your information, you put your social in, you put your address in, you put all of your information in, and then you get to this one important part, and they ask you about your income and your assets and things of that nature. That section right there is very important. And no, I'm not insinuating that you should lie on that section. I would never tell anyone to lie. In fact, you need to tell the truth on this section, because there are ways that they can do research down the line on you and find out whether or not you were being honest, and that could result in your account being taken away or your credit limit being decreased. Because I heard cases of people having their limit decreased, and I also heard cases of people having their credit card taken away. So I heard both over time. Now, I don't know if it's a definite, but I heard about it. So you don't want to do it. Now, when it comes to the section of filling out the income part of the application, you want to be honest, because it's going to let them know where you stand financially. And what a lot of people don't mention is that also goes into your initial credit limit. I know one thing, I have the Amex Platinum card. I also previously had the Gold card. I missed that card, by the way, but I also had the Gold, but I currently have the Platinum by Amex. And, everyone's like, oh, the Amex card, it doesn't have a credit limit, but it actually does. The credit limit is actually hidden. It's not visible to you, of course, but you do have an amount that you can spend before it sets off an alarm, and Amex be like, whoa, are they really making this purchase? And that's usually set the first couple of months when you go and have your card. They're going to base it on how much you spend. But on the other side, when it comes to other credit cards that are not charge cards and they actually do have a credit limit, they're going to look at your income, because your income to them will determine in their mind. Of course, it is an assumption based on, what they believe. However, they're going to go off your income and your assets into determining how much of a credit limit they should give you, because they're like, wait, if this person makes 50,000 a year, they're probably going to spend this amount on credit cards. Or if they make 100,000 a year, they're probably going to spend this amount. Or if they make 300,000 a year, they're probably going to spend this amount. Or if they make 20,000 a year, they're probably going to spend this amount. So I'm just going to be honest with you. Based on what I've learned over the years, the lower your income, it usually has an impact on your credit limit. Unless, of course, you are on a credit card account as an authorized user. However, if it's your own credit card account, your income is usually going to play a role on the front end, because they don't want to give you too big of a credit limit and you don't have the income to cover what you're going to spend. Because of course they know if they give you a huge credit limit of $20,000 or plus and you don't have a lot of income, they know you're just going to spend, and eventually you're going to spend so much that you're not going to be able to pay them back. So they factor all of that in. So yes, income is important when it comes to receiving a favorable, or I should say a high credit limit. Now that's on the front end. Now on the back end, as I stated, both apply. So income, and the other thing that applies and comes into play is your spending. So when you have a credit card, right? And I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm not going to say which credit card it was, but I have a credit card and I got a credit limit increase, and my credit limit increase was pretty favorable. You know, I considered it to be favorable, but I always kept my utilization low on this credit card. Like I would keep it extremely low. I'm talking about less than 3% low. And I will tell you right now, when it comes to you wanting a credit limit increase or higher credit limits, these credit card companies, they're not fans of that. They're really not. I know we tell you all to have your utilization as low as possible, but that's more so for the credit bureaus. When it comes to these credit card companies, they actually want you to spend. So the more you spend, the more chance that it is of you having a higher limit or receiving a credit limit increase. Now, the con and the negative part of that is that it will affect your utilization, especially if you don't have a high credit limit. Now, some of my subscribers, they're pretty savvy with it. So what they'll do is they'll go out, let's say they have a $10,000 credit limit. They'll go out, spend $7,000, but they'll pay that $7,000 back, or pay majority of it back before they receive their bill. Now, you can do that, of course, and I don't know of the result of doing that and whether or not people have received credit limit increases when they do that. So if you have received a credit limit increase from doing that, please comment below and let everyone know that you did it and how long you did it for and when you receive your increase. I think spreading knowledge and letting people know about that, it will help a lot. But as far as I go, I haven't heard of that. So I can't rule it out because, as I always state, credit is subjective and everything is case by case. So if you have done that method and you have received a credit limit increase that's favorable, be sure to comment below and let everyone know. But those two main things come into play when it comes to credit limit increases and receiving high credit limits. Your income and your spending, they work hand in hand. So you're going to need both. You're going to need a nice favorable income. Of course, that's subjective, of course, because some people make 300,000, some people make 30,000. And it's all going to come into play when it comes to, you know, your credit limit. And spending is the other one. So you have to have both of them working together. And like I said, on the back end with the spending, it does affect utilization, especially if you're not the type to pay multiple times before you receive your bill. As I stated, I teach my people to keep their utilization low and pay one time per billing cycle, but everyone has their own way of doing it. I don't knock other people's way of doing it. I just like to keep it simple for people who are new to credit and new to credit cards. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you because I always see information about high credit limit, get a high credit limit, or a credit limit increase for a high amount, or 50,000, 60,000 credit limit, and I hardly ever hear income talked about. And that's so important. Your income plays a big role, and I just wanted you all to know that if you don't know that. Some of you probably already know that, but if you don't know that, yes, income plays a major role. And this is kind of piggybacking on my previous video that I just did. So you want to check that video out. This is the video in the thumbnail. You want to check my previous video out because it's about the missing factor when it comes to increasing your credit score. And yes, income is the missing factor. So check that video out as well. But if you're not a subscriber and you return to this video multiple times, that should let you know right there that you're comfortable enough to hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications. But I have videos for credit cards, and just about everything. So you want to go through my video section and check out those videos. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. I appreciate you all for checking me out. I appreciate it. I swear I do. Thank you all for watching, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right?